Okay, everybody, we are back with some of the gentlemen associated with the film that we just saw here at, we regret to inform you, Film Festival, Tree of Fire. Robert Turnage and Jerry Llewellyn. The main character of this documentary is not a person. Robert, who is the main character of this documentary?
Well, on one level, you could say it's a tree. On another level, you could say it's the divine, it's God, which is what that divine energy imbued in that tree is really, I think, the central narrative, central character of the story. And so on one level, it's a tree. On another level, it just sort of radiates out and embraces everyone. Everyone who's had the pleasure, the opportunity of visiting the tree, people who've never heard of Meher Baba, still sensing something very powerful, something moving. And then this wonderful feeling still survives, even with the wildfires that course through. Now, Gerald knows what I'm talking about. He has also had his experiences visiting the tree. You visited the tree before the fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Tell people where the tree is.
The tree is at a reserve called Meher Mount, and it is on the top of a ridge that is 2,500 feet above the Pacific Ocean. And and it's near a small city in Southern California called Ojai. So you look out at the Pacific in one direction, you turn around and you look at mountains that are even higher than you are. It's just, it's a place of exquisite beauty.
100%. Well, one thing I'm really an observer of what this movie spoke. That's all. But in my experience with it, you have this profound beauty of nature, of God's nature, that is just magnificent all the way to the Pacific and all the way to the Pink Mountains. And yet there's something far more profound than that. It's under the tree. So somehow you sit under the tree and life becomes inward suddenly, without you asking for it. Just if you're open, then suddenly you're opening to an inner world. You're tucked in by a canopy. You're tucked in by the sun and the sparkling of the leaves. But there's something more deep within us that's so profound, that's touched by a silence that cannot be spoken about. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm finished. I'm touched by the movie deeply.
Tell people who don't know about the wildfires. When did the wildfires occur and what happened to the tree exactly?
Well, the most recent of the wildfires, there was one in 1985, but the more recent and damaging one for the tree was in 2017. So it's almost exactly 8 years ago. Today, it's December 7th. The fire came up and hit the tree on December 4th, 2017. And this film sort of chronicles years of recovery that took place.
And who is Baba?
Meher Baba was a spiritual master who lived in India from 1894 to 1969, and he observed silence for the last 44 years of his life. He said a lot of things, including, "I have come not to teach, but to awaken." Another thing that he's known for is "Don't worry, be happy." So the Bobby McFerrin song was based on a phrase that Baba made famous. And so Baba has people who love him all over the world, but most of them are in India, but they really are all over. But Mayher Mount is a place that's been dedicated to him since 1946, but it's open to everyone. It's totally universal. All are welcome. And I would say probably half the people who come to Mayher Mount have never even heard of him. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want our audience at home to know before we take some questions from the audience?
Well, I'd like them to know that Mayher Mount is a place worth visiting, and so is the tree. The tree is worth a visit. So if you find yourself in California, you must see it. Okay, thanks.
All right, and do we have any questions?
Well, maybe we should say how you get there. I mean, California is a long
Oh yeah, California is a long state. So Ojai is probably less than 100 miles north of Los Angeles. So one of the LA airports is probably where you would want to fly into. And then it's like a 2-hour drive up to the Ojai area. And if you go on the website, you can find directions to actually get up the mountain on Sulphur Mountain Road. So,
Robert, what's
yes.
the website?
The website is mayhermount.org. And Mayher Mount is spelled MEHERMOUNT.
It's a truly fascinating story, and what I love is it's a multi-generational story at this point. You said 1946?
Is when Mayher Mount got established. Yeah.
And is that when the Avatar was there, or was he there years before and then it was established?
He came there 10 years after it was
Oh,
established.
10 years after it was established.
So all that film, archival film you see of him walking along in the blue Sadra.
So his devotees had created basically a space under his name at the time?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's really cool. And I mean, it's so wonderful to see. I mean, I live in New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And so, seeing people so attuned with nature and speaking their feelings and talking about universality and all those things is so, not foreign to me, but so wonderfully strange to some of the people near New York. And it's lovely to be able to say, as your friend, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Jerry, to be able to say, this is a place of healing, this is a place of community, that's marvelous. And we need more of that in this world, and that's why movies like this and testimonials and documentaries such as these, I think, are truly important. And so we thank you for sharing it with us.
I have a question.
Well, thanks very much. Wonderful remarks, Ryan. Thank you.
Robert, can you break down Baba's spiritual philosophy a little bit before we go to just sort of the tenets?
Just in a few words.
Yeah, right. And he was silent. He said things that are real are given and received in silence. And he also speaking about how God has given the world over, many visits, great words to live by, but we seem to have trouble doing it. So in this visit, one of the things that Bob has said is, you have asked for and been given enough words, and because men have ignored them, in this incarnation I observe silence. I'd say his philosophy is universal. He said, again, I have come not to teach but to awaken, and that all of us are ultimately, I'd say his philosophy is that all of us ultimately within are divine. We are all part of God. God is within each and every one of us, but the vast majority of us, almost all of us, have built up so much stuff that gets in the way of seeing that and experiencing it. So his philosophy is, well, one thing that he dictated and with his gestures and had written down was that he had come to bring all religions together like beads on a string. So he's open to receive love, to give love without regard to any caste or religion, any of those things that divide us, that unnecessarily divide us. So,
Thank you so much for sharing.
Laura?
Can we talk about the film a little bit more and how
Yeah.
that was put together? How long did it take to put this together? And the woman who kind of, I guess, dreamed it or designed it, and was she involved in every aspect of the film?
Yeah, so there were two co-directors of the film, and one of them was Margaret Magnus, the woman you're referring to. Margaret is one of the volunteers at Mayher Mount, and she's been involved with Mayher Mount for decades. But I'd say she was the one who really had the idea at some time after the fire happened that this is something that should be chronicled. And so she got the assistance of Ben Hoffman, who is a professional filmmaker. And so she talked him in, brought him in and said, can you help us with this? Because the rest of us, we have no experience with filmmaking. And so he is a co-director now of the film. And at first he was just doing it, well, okay, here's another assignment. But pretty quickly he got drawn into it so that he felt a personal passion about it. And so the two of them worked together really over the course of several years. A lot of these interviews were separated in time from each other. And of course, you can see a lot of the filming of the tree also is separated in time. So it was several years in the making.
Tree of Fire.
Thank you. Thanks very much.